explain everything from first principles. Let's start with the most basic question. What is a project according to Prince 2? Prince 2 defines a project as a temporary organization that is created for the purpose of delivering one or more business products according to an agreed business case. Now let me translate that from corporate speak into real talk. Breaking it down like we're launching a rocket. Temporary organization or project is not your normal day job, it's not ongoing operations. You create a special team that didn't exist before, and when the job is done, that team gets disbanded. It has a clear beginning and a clear end, like building Starship. Once it's flying to Mars, the Starship development project is over. Delivering one or more business products. Projects exist to produce something specific, not do some work, not have meetings. They produce actual products, a new car, a new software system, a new factory, a new satellite, a new hospital wing, tangible outputs. Prince 2 is obsessed with this. It's product-led, not activity-led, according to an agreed business case.
Copy.
There has to be a damn good reason why we're doing this. The business case answers, why should we spend time, money, and effort on this instead of something else? Is it worth it? Will we get more value out than we put in? And here's the key, that business case doesn't get written once and forgotten. It has to stay valid the whole time. If it stops making sense, we kill the project, no mercy. Simple version you can remember. A project is a temporary team created to build something useful that delivers real business value. That's it. Everything else in Prince 2, the 7 principles, 7 practices, 7 processes, is just there to help you deliver that project successfully on time, without wasting money, and without turning into a chaotic mess. We're not here to do endless meetings and produce pretty slide decks. We're here to deliver real products that create real value and then move on to the next mission. That's the Prince 2 mindset. All right, let's do this. Sit down, pay attention, because we're about to go deep on Prince 2 version 7. Look, most projects in the world fail or deliver mediocre crap. That's just a fact. Prince 2 v7 is one of the best tools we have to stop that stupidity. It's not sexy, but it works when you actually use it properly. This is your complete jumpstart foundation and practitioner. I'm going to explain it like we're launching a mission to Mars. First principles, no bullshit, maximum truth. Module 1, overview and exam facts. Prince 2 stands for Projects in Controlled Environments. It's been battle-tested for decades. Version 7 dropped in 2023, and they finally dragged it into the 21st century. What changed? They stopped pretending projects are just about Gantt charts and money. Now they properly talk about people, leadership, sustainability, digital products, and real agile integration. Good. The method is built on 3 unbreakable pillars. 7 principles, these are physics, you don't break them. 7 practices, the recurring disciplines you apply every single day. 7 processes, the actual sequence of what you do from start to finish. There are 2 exams you need to care about. Foundation is your entry ticket, 60 minutes, 60 questions, closed book. You need 36 out of 60. It's testing whether you understand the language. Practitioner is where the real game is, 150 minutes, scenario-based, open book. This one tests whether you can actually think and tailor Prince 2 when reality hits you in the face. Pro tip, always double check the latest rules on People's Cert. Don't assume anything. Module 2, the 7 principles, deep dive. These are the fundamental truths. If you violate any of them, you're not doing Prince 2, you're just doing random project management with extra steps. Principle 1, continued business justification. If the reason to do the project dies, you kill the project. No mercy. Too many companies keep pouring money into zombie projects because no one has the balls to stop them. Principle 2, learn from experience. Humanity's biggest flaw is repeating the same dumb mistakes. Prince 2 forces you to capture lessons throughout the project, not in some useless end report nobody reads. Principle 3, define roles, responsibilities, and relationships. V7 added the word relationships. And they're right, it's not enough to have org charts. You need to understand how real humans work together. Clear accountability is everything. Principle 4, manage by stages. You don't bet the entire company on one big bang, you break it into stages. The project board only approves one stage at a time. This is how you control risk, like a rational human being. Principle 5, manage by exception. This is one of the best ideas in the whole method. Set clear tolerances, time, cost, quality, scope, risk, benefits, and now sustainability. As long as people stay inside the box, let them work. Only escalate when they're about to break the box. This prevents senior management from choking the project to death with meetings. Principle 6, focus on products. First principles, thinking. Define exactly what you're delivering and what good looks like before you waste time arguing about how to build it. This single idea prevents more scope creep than anything else. Principle 7, tailor to suit the project. This is not a religion. Don't apply the same level of ceremony to a 3-month internal tool as you would to a multi-billion-dollar infrastructure project. Adapt it intelligently. Tailoring is mandatory, not optional. Module 3, the 7 practices, and wishing you all a warm welcome. Now we're getting into the real operational stuff. The 7 practices Think of principles as the fundamental laws of physics. Practices are the actual engines you run every single day on the project. These are the disciplines you apply continuously, not just once at the beginning. Here they are straight out, one business case. This is the single most important practice in the entire method. The business case is not some dusty PDF you write at the start and then ignore. It's a living, breathing justification for why the hell we're doing this project in the first place. Every single decision, every change, every extra feature, every delay should be traced back to one question. Does this still make the business case stronger or weaker? In V7, they made it even clearer. The business case must be desirable, viable, achievable, and sustainable. Sustainable is new. If your project is destroying the planet or society for marginal profit, you're doing it wrong. 2. Organizing. This is about building the right team structure. Who's accountable for what? Prince 2 defines roles, not job titles. One person can wear multiple hats, but never in a way that creates conflict of interest. The project board represents the business, the users, and the suppliers. Clear lines of authority, no ambiguity. Ambiguity is how projects die. 3. Plans. Planning is not about creating beautiful Gantt charts that lie to you. Plans are about answering 3 questions. What are we delivering? How? And by when you'll have different levels of plans, project plans, stage plans, team plans, and exception plans when things go sideways. Plans set the baseline. Without a good baseline, you're flying blind. 4. Quality. Quality is one of the most misunderstood practices. It's not make it look nice. Quality in Prince 2 is hardcore. Does the product meet the exact criteria we defined? You define quality up front in the product descriptions. Quality criteria, quality methods, quality responsibilities. You don't expect quality in at the end like some amateur factory. You build it in from day one. 5. Risk is uncertainty. It's about things that might happen in the future, both threats and opportunities. You identify risks, assess them, plan responses, and keep managing them. In V7, they expect you to treat risk as a living register, not a document you fill once during initiation. 6. Issues. Issues are different from risks. Issues are things that have already happened or are certain to happen. This includes requests for change, off specifications, and general problems, concerns. You capture them, assess them, and decide what to do. Don't mix issues and risks, or you'll sound like you don't know what you're talking about in the exam. 7. Progress. This is the brutal honesty practice. How are we actually doing compared to the plan? Not how we wish we were doing, how we are really doing. You use highlight reports, checkpoint reports, end stage reports, all to give clear factual visibility. No sugarcoating, progress feeds everything else, especially the business case, and the decision to continue or kill the project. Key takeaways from the 7 practices. The practices don't live in isolation, they are all connected. The business case is the North Star. Plans set the direction. Progress tells you if you're off course. Risk and issues handle the turbulence. Quality makes sure what you deliver isn't garbage. Organizing makes sure the right humans are in the right seats. Module 4, the 7 processes, spoken scripts. Alright, before I begin, a quick shout out to our event organizer, Mr. Moo, and I study online.ai. Now we're getting to the actual flow, the 7 processes. This is the sequence of what actually happens in a Prince 2 project from the moment someone has a crazy idea until the project is dead and buried. Think of it like the launch sequence for a rocket. Every step has a purpose. You don't skip steps just because you're in a hurry. Here they are, one by one. Starting up a project issue, this is the pre-project phase. Someone has an idea. Before we commit serious money and time, we do a quick sanity check. We appoint the key people, review previous lessons, and create the project brief, a short document that says what the project is about and why it might be worth doing. The project board then decides, do we initiate this thing properly or kill it now? Smart move. 2. Directing a project, DP. This is the project board's process. They don't do the day-to-day work. They direct from above. This runs from the start all the way to the end. Their job is to make the big yes-no decisions, authorize initiation, authorize the project, authorize each stage, handle exceptions, and finally authorize closure. They are accountable, not the project manager, the board 3, initiating a project IP. This is where we stop playing around and get serious. We create the full project initiation documentation, PID, the big master document that includes the detailed business case, project plan, all the management approaches, risk, quality, change, etc., and how we're going to control the project. Once the project board approves the PID, the project is officially born. Module 5, roles and responsibilities. Listen very carefully. I will say this only once. This YA is one of the most important modules. Projects don't fail because of bad Gantt charts. They fail because of unclear accountability. Prince 2 fixes that with a very clean role structure. Remember this first principle. Prince 2 defines roles, not job titles. One person can hold multiple roles. Roles can be shared, but never create conflicts of interest. Here's the breakdown. 1. Corporate program management. These are the people above the project. They give a project mandate, set the overall tolerances, and provide the resources. They're the big bosses. 2, the project board. This is the most important group in the entire method. They're ultimately accountable for the project's success. The project board has 3 key roles. Executive, the single point of accountability. This person owns the business case. They are like the CEO of the project. In V7, they made it crystal clear. The executive cannot share this role. 1 person, full accountability. Senior user represents the people who will actually use the products. They make sure the project delivers what users need and that the benefits are realized. They're the voice of the customer. Senior supplier represents those who are providing the resources, skills, or technology. They make sure the project is technically feasible and that suppliers deliver what was promised. 3, project manager. This is the person who does the actual day-to-day running of the project on behalf of the project board. They plan, control, monitor, and deliver. In V7, they put much more emphasis on leadership and people skills. Being a good project manager isn't just about spreadsheets, it's about leading humans. 4, team managers. These people manage the specialist teams doing the actual work. They accept work packages, deliver the products, and report progress back to the project manager on small projects. The project manager can also act as team manager. 5, project assurance. This is independent oversight. They check that the project is being run properly, that risks are being managed, that quality standards are met, etc. Important exam point, project assurance cannot be done by the project manager. That's a conflict of interest. You cannot mark your own homework. 6, change authority. This role can approve or reject changes within set limits. On big projects, you might have a dedicated change authority. On small projects, the project board can do it themselves. 7, project support, administrative help, configuration management, filing, scheduling, etc. Can be 1 person or a whole PMO. Elon-style reality check. Here's the truth most people get wrong. The project board is not there to do the work. They are there to direct and make decisions. The project manager runs the project, but the board carries the ultimate accountability. 1 person can hold multiple roles, especially on smaller projects, but you can never have the same person being both project manager and project assurance. That's asking for disaster. V7 strengthen the people side. They want leaders, not just administrators. Projects are delivered by humans, not tools. If your team is burned out or confused about who's responsible for what, the project is already failing. Key exam takeaways for Module 5. Executive owns the business case and has overall accountability. Senior user focuses on benefits and usability. Senior supplier focuses on supply and feasibility. Project assurance cannot be delegated to the project manager. Roles can be combined but never create conflicts of interest. This role structure is what allows Prince2 to scale from tiny projects to massive multi-billion-dollar ones. End of Module 5. Module 6, Governance and Tolerances. Alright, if you're still here, well done. Comment cherry in the comments. This module is pure rocket science, or rather, rocket governance. Governance in Prince2 is the system by which the project is directed, controlled, and held accountable. It's how you make sure the project doesn't turn into a runaway train that wastes millions and delivers nothing. At the heart of Prince2 governance is one of the best ideas in the whole method. Manage by exception. Here's how it works. You set clear tolerances at each level of management. As long as everything stays inside those tolerances, the lower level can make decisions and keep moving fast. Only when they're forecast to reach a tolerance do they escalate it up. This prevents senior people from micromanaging and lets competent people actually do their jobs. The 7 tolerances in Prince2 V7, memorize these: time, how late can we be, cost, how much can we overspend, scope, what can we drop or add quality, what's the minimum acceptable standard, risk, how much risk exposure is allowed, benefits, how much less value can we accept, sustainability, new in V7, what environmental and social impact is acceptable, sustainability being added as a formal tolerance is a big deal. Projects now have to think about the planet and society as a governance issue, not just a marketing slogan. The Tolerance Cascade corporate program level sets tolerances for the project board. Project board sets tolerances for the project manager. Project manager sets tolerances for the team managers. It's a clean hierarchy of authority. What happens when a tolerance is forecast to be breached? The project manager raises an exception report. The project board reviews it and can ask for an exception plan or give ad hoc direction or shut the project down. This is managed by exception in action, reality check. Most organizations are terrible at governance. They either micromanage everything or give zero oversight. Both are stupid. Prince2 gives you a smart middle path. Set clear boundaries, let good people operate inside them, escalate only when necessary. This is how you can run extremely complex projects at high speed without losing control. The addition of sustainability as a tolerance in V7 shows they're thinking longer term. If your project saves money but destroys the environment or exploits people, the business case should reflect that. That's first principles thinking. Key exam points for Module 6. There are now 7 tolerances. Sustainability is the new one. Tolerances are set at each management level. Exception report is raised when a tolerance is forecast to be exceeded. The project board decides what to do with exceptions. Governance equals direction plus control, accountability. This module connects directly to the principles of manage by exception and manage by stages, end of Module 6. Module 7, Agile, Bridge, and Hybrid Delivery. For years, people acted like Prince 2 and Agile were enemies in some stupid religious war. Version 7 finally says, relax, you can use both. Prince 2 governs the project, Agile governs how the work gets done inside the stages. It's not either or, it's both. And it works extremely well when done right. How the hybrid actually works, Prince 2 gives you the high-level structure, business justification, clear governance, stage boundaries, proper risk and benefits management. Inside each Prince 2 stage, you can run agile ways of working, Scrum, sprints, Kanban, daily stand-ups, user stories, retrospectives, whatever fits. Think of it like this. Prince 2 is the rocket company, SpaceX. It decides what we're building, why, and when we need to hit major milestones. Agile is the engineering team that figures out the best way to build each pod fast and iterate. Key mapping examples. Prince 2 stage can contain multiple sprints. Just a work package can be delivered using Scrum or Kanban. Product descriptions can be written as user stories with acceptance criteria. Sprint reviews can serve as checkpoint reports. Retrospectives feed straight into the lessons log. Jokes incoming. Using pure Prince 2 on a highly uncertain software project is like trying to launch Starship with only 1950s project management. You'll get there eventually, but it'll be slow and expensive. Using pure Agile with no governance is like building a rocket by letting the interns hold daily stand-ups and vote on which way is up. Fun for a while until you explode. Important V7 truths, all 7 principles still fully apply in a hybrid environment. You cannot tailor away continued business, justification, or manage by exception just because you're doing 2-week sprints. The project board still directs, the project manager still protects the stage boundaries and the business case. The teams get freedom inside the stage to deliver using Agile. Exam tip: in practitioner exams, they love hybrid scenarios. They will test whether you understand that Prince 2 provides the governance wrapper while Agile provides the delivery engine. Key sentence to remember: Prince 2 governs the project, Agile governs delivery within the stages. Closing on Module 7. This is how modern projects should be run in the real world. Use Prince 2 for control, direction, and accountability. Use Agile for speed, learning, and flexibility. Stop fighting about methodology, combine the best of both like any intelligent engineer would. That's what V7 is encouraging you to do. End of Module 7. Alright, Module 8. This one is extremely important, especially for the practitioner exam. We're talking about tailoring. Prince 2 is not a rigid religion. It's a flexible framework. And the 7th principle literally says you must tailor it. Here's the official idea. Tailor to suit the project. Prince 2 must be adapted to the specific context, size, complexity, risk, and environment of the project. Tailoring is not optional, it is a principle. What tailoring actually means adjusting the depth, formality, and intensity of how you apply Prince 2 while keeping all 7 principles intact. You can change how much documentation you create, how many stages you use, how frequently you report, how detailed your plans are, how many roles you combine, how much governance you apply, whether you use Agile inside the stages, but you cannot do this. Remove or weaken any of the 7 principles, skip the business case, ignore risk or quality. Eliminate stage boundaries entirely. Real-world examples: fast and deep, small internal project, e.g. updating your company's internal website. You might combine roles, have very light documentation, short stages, and use lots of Agile practices, still fully Prince 2, just lighter, massive, high-risk project, e.g. building a new rocket factory or national infrastructure. You go heavy on documentation, more stages, stricter tolerances, formal boards, detailed risk registers, etc. Agile heavy software project. You keep Prince 2 for governance, business justification, and stage control, but inside each stage you run sprints, backlogs, and daily stand-ups. Tailoring versus embedding, important distinction. Tailoring adapting Prince 2 to fit this specific project. Embedding equal integrating Prince 2 into the organization's standard processes and terminology. They are different, don't mix them up in the exam. Reality check. Most people screw this up in 2 ways. They treat Prince 2 like Holy Scripture and apply the same heavy process to every single project, even a 4-week website update. That's stupid and wasteful. They tailor so aggressively that they throw out governance, skip the business case, and basically just do random Agile chaos while calling it Prince 2. That's also stupid. The smart move is to be ruthless about keeping the principles and smart about scaling everything else to reality. Think of Prince 2 like reusable rocket hardware. You don't change the physics, the principles, but you absolutely adjust the payload, fuel, and configuration for each mission. Key exam points for Module 8. Tailoring is a principle, not optional. You can never tailor away the 7 principles. Tailoring decisions should be based on project size, complexity, risk importance, team capability, and environment. In practitioner exams, you will get scenarios asking, how should this project be tailored, or has this project been tailored correctly? End of Module 8. Module 9, Product Focus PBS Module 9. This is one of the most powerful ideas in Prince 2. We're now diving into focus on products principle number 6, and one of the biggest reasons Prince 2 actually works. Prince 2 definition: a Prince 2 project is product-led, not activity-led. We define what we're delivering before we decide how we're going to deliver it. This is first principles thinking. It stops endless arguments about tasks and forces everyone to focus on measurable outputs. Why this matters: the harsh truth. Most projects fail because people jump straight into doing stuff without clearly agreeing on what done actually looks like. Prince 2 says stop first, define the products with crystal clarity. Key tools, product descriptions. This is the single most important document for each product. It answers, what is the purpose of this product? What does it consist of? Composition, what format does it take? What are the quality criteria? This is exam gold, measurable standards the product must meet. What are the quality methods? How will we check it? Who is responsible for quality? If you don't have good product descriptions, you're building crap and hoping it works. Product breakdown structure, PBS. This is a hierarchical diagram that shows all the products the project will deliver, broken down from the final major deliverables down to the smallest components. It's like a bill of materials for your entire project. Product flow diagram shows the sequence in which the products need to be created. Which products depend on others. Try thus, analogy.